So I am here on a very early frosty morning in the UK and a late evening in Australia with my lovely, lovely friend, Nirmala from Quantum Art Medicine. Now, today we're going to be talking about carrying on our discussion of sacred geometry. And the reason why I'm so passionate and Nirmala's so passionate about this, and I wanted Nirmala to come on to share some more of her gifts with you, is I think personally at this time, everyone is searching for what is coming next. What do I need to be doing? How do I get myself in alignment? What is 5D? What does the future look like? There's so many questions that are coming up for people, and it can be confusing with so much information out. So we're going to have a lovely session with Nirmala today to start to answer some of these questions. We'll do follow-up sessions. And you're going to absolutely love it. We are also at the end, please stay to the end, because any of you that haven't experienced Nirmala's Flower of Life meditations, you have got a gift, because we're going to be doing a lovely meditation at the end of this session to help bring us all into alignment so that we'll have the best day possible. And that's something you can re-listen to over and over. Now, Nirmala, how are you doing? And how are things where you are in Australia?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you, Catherine, for inviting me into your show again. It's always a blessing to see you and the beautiful work that you're doing. Yeah, Australia is good. It's meant to be warm, but I don't think in Melbourne it's the same. But we are having a beautiful time in Australia. I know that you're kind of experiencing winter at the moment. Yeah, so it seems like we all are going through a process, even though you are in another part of the world and I'm here. The connections is always happening, and I enjoy how the geometry just bring everything connected together at the right time. So yeah, we are kind of in a balance, just to answer your question, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. And that's the whole purpose of my channel. I've just seen Idris, the Wonder Cat, going by. Most of my listeners know Idris. I think, the main purpose of my channel is to expand knowledge through curiosity, keeping people asking questions. But I think we can get very hung up as humans in our headspace. And we talk a lot at this time about moving into our intuition and our heart space. And this is where your work comes into a line. So, but a lot of people have seen you, Nirmala, on my channel before with our beautiful friend Danielle. So I'm going to put the playlist to the other videos that will set the context for this before. But for me, having had quite a few sessions with Nirmala, the reading and the information and the clarity that you get from Nirmala's session is amazing. But there's a lot of people that still really don't understand what is sacred geometry and why is it relevant to people at this time. Can you just explain that to us, Nirmala?
Oh, wonderful. Fantastic. It's a very good question. I love explaining about geometry. Now, from a normal world, when we mention geometry, it's always referred to what we learn in schools, isn't it? It's like the three-dimensional perspective where students learn about shapes, sizes, measurements, objects in space. Now, this type of geometry is concerned with understanding mathematical concepts and using them to solve practical problems. In saying this, sacred geometry, on the other hand, serves as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. It is a way to communicate with the divine or universal energy. The universe is made up of repeating geometrical patterns that can be seen in all things, from the smallest atoms to the largest galaxy. All right. The microcosm and macrocosm in geometry is huge. It's a huge explanation in there. This is how we interconnected with all things as a way to tap into higher states of consciousness from nature to human body to the planets. Yeah. For example, the sacred geometry, this is very interesting. I like to explain this to everyone when they ask me this question. I don't know whether many of the audience might be aware of this already. The ratio of the length of a person's arm in a Fibonacci sequence to the length of their forearm is approximately the same as the golden ratio, which is approximately 1.618. And the ratio of the size of Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, to that of Earth is also approximately 1.618, which is one of a very golden example of the golden ratio appearing in the natural world. Yeah. So Geometry plays an important role in shaping our understanding of the universe and has been used for centuries to understand the flow of energy in our bodies and the world around us. In particular, the geometrical shapes and patterns are often associated with specific energy centers. I'm talking about the chakras in the body. Whether we understand the concept or not, geometry plays a key role in our bodies of consciousness. All right. Like, for example, each chakra is associated with a different geometrical shape, and each shape influences the flow of energy in a specific way. For example, the root chakra, the first chakra, which is associated with the connection of the physical world and is often represented as the cube or the hexahedron. Yeah, the cube, when you're kind of focusing on the root chakra, the most of the time what you're asked to do is to ground yourself, right? The cube is a stable grounding shape that helps with the balance and stabilize the root chakra. Yeah. So this is one part of the influence that I'm talking about when it comes to geometry, to the understanding of sacred geometry and how it is kind of impacting us spiritually. Now, the second example is, of course, another example I can throw is the second chakra associated with emotions and sexuality is often represented by the sphere. The spherical shape is said to help promote sense of fluidity, and openness, allowing energy to flow freely and easily through these energy centers. In addition, when you're really looking at the individual chakras, the geometry also influences the flow of energy through the entire system of energy centers. For example, the sacred geometry symbol known as Mother of Geometry, the flower of life, the flower of life. Yeah, I've got a crystal here that I can show you. This is I don't know whether you can see it clearly.
Yes,
that's the flower of life.
Beautiful, yeah.
The flower of life that contains, within the flower of life, you have the whole blueprint of the whole universe, blueprint of every single thing that you can think of, from nature to individuals to experiences to the planets to the galaxies. Every blueprint is in there. And the entire universe represents the flow of the energy through all of the chakras, and is often used as, and that's the reason they use the flower of life for meditation and visualization practices to help balance and harmonize the entire energy system. Now, in saying that, when you are meditating on a flower of life, you're not just meditating on an individual self, you're actually expanding light, because that's how she connects, and I have, how would I say, a unique, a unique relationship with geometry from childhood. I didn't have to learn it. They were been with me, and my experience has been wonderful, right? So geometry plays a significant role in shaping our understanding of energy. It also flows through the body of the world. So learning about geometry is wonderful. The minute you understand how each geometry is functioning, the personalities, the characterism, and how that is kind of structured into our life, the stages and how it kind of flows through the stages of our life, you kind of understand when you need to step back, when you need to flow into your life, when you need to answer, when you need to actually be in silence. Everything is kind of already prepared for you if you understand the geometrical sequence and how they work in you, right? So that's just a little bit about the sacred geometry. So when it comes to sacred geometry, it's a fascinating field that explores the relationship. It's just not what we study in school, as I mentioned earlier. It's also the nature and the universe, right? It provides a glimpse into everything underlying order of the harmony that exists in the world around us, and how it's a powerful tool for understanding the mysteries of the creation. Yeah,
I love it. What I love is when you were saying about the flower of life, and we're going to be looking at that picture again later, is you can see that it's all about connection. And a lot of the quantum tools that Nirmala and myself both work with are about making sure those connections are back in place and solid, and it's absolutely crucial. And when we when you have more information. We're going to talk at the end about how you as an individual can connect in more with this. So stay tuned. We'll cover that before the meditation. But I think what's really crucial is so many people at this time, Nirmala, are really asking about, well, how do I fit into this? And this is why I love the sacred geometry and the work you do so much, is when you understand about where your geometry is and how that's fitting in and is in balance with the bigger picture with planet Earth, then you can see it's very obvious what you need to be doing, and more importantly, probably what you don't want to be doing. So I've heard you talking a lot about the new energy of the Earth. So what is this new energy of the Earth that you're seeing? Because a lot of people are talking about 3D, 4D, 5D, etc., and moving into the golden age. How does this fit in with the new energy of the Earth that you're seeing through the geometry, Nirmala?
Okay, so we all know that we kind of went through a shuffling in the last 3 years or 4 years. Yeah, so there was a bit of a shuffling, and it happened for a reason. And because of the Earth resonance, everything has changed, and Earth is now in a very high consciousness. Humans are now pulled into it, are kind of now, because when Earth and humans are one in one as a collective consciousness. Yeah, so we are going in together. Yes, so the new divine energy has been part of the universal order for thousands of years. It's not something new. I'm calling it new because in my experience, I went through, every single geometry that you throw in front of me, I have a form, I have communicated with them. But with this new energy geometry that I'm seeing, I couldn't even describe the shape or the pattern or the sound I'm hearing. It's so like I'm thrown into the universe. I'm in the cosmos. That's how I'm feeling. It's something that's the reason I'm calling it new, but I know that it's been here for thousands of years. The sacred geometry that is being revealed is offered to Earth, just that we are in an enormous rise in frequency and consciousness in Earth. We are gifted this experience of this divine geometry, actually. I believe we are moving towards a higher level of awareness and understanding of the world and our place in it. So this new geometry is connected to the ancient mystery schools, which we esoteric institutions that taught spiritual and philosophical teachings to initiate students in the ancient times. The divine geometry holds the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. To be precise, the patterns and structures are very unique. And what's even more amazing is that to communicate with this geometry, you have to enter this portal as if you are with the universal mother, as if I feel like I'm entering a womb, a mother's womb. You are in the hands of the divine mother, surrendered. And when you enter, you're completely surrendered. That means there's no thoughts, there's nothing. You're completely surrendered. Everything is taken care of. And you allow and receive the nurturing and guidance that is provided. And the whole thing is about trusting this journey. So I have started my communication and learning more about this amazing energy. In this sense, the new divine geometry is actually can be sensed as a continuation of the teachings of the ancient mystery schools. This is connected to ancient mystery schools and could also be seen as a way to connect to the present with the wisdom and the knowledge of the past, which is coming together. It is amazing. It's really amazing.
I love that because I've had a fascination with the ancient mystery schools and how we can use these ancient teachings in the time that we're facing right now. And I love the fact that we're talking about in alignment, because as you say, it's almost like Mother Earth is in this new energy, and all us, the way I see it, and tell me whether this makes sense, is it's almost like instead of us humans trying to constantly paddle upstream, we need to get in our rafts and allow it to go with where Mother Energy is taking us. But one interesting question that raises for me, and I'm sure people in the audience will have it as well, when we're looking at allowing it and letting go of the resistance, and there's so many, manifestation talks, this, Esther Hicks just says, get into alignment and then, which is a bit like me getting into the boat and allowing it to be taken downstream. How can people watching this, Nirmala, get the balance between allowing, but also taking inspired action. So in my example, you've got to get a boat and get in it to be able to go downstream. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so allowing the flow. We played a lot of resistance, right? First, we allowed it. So we went to the agreement, we agreed and we agreed and agreed, and then we find that we can't agree anymore, and we went into resistance. And then now we are resisting overall, like we are going to resist through, and it seems like it's not going to work. It's like we are in polarity where both have to exist. So for us is to accept it and understand and step back and witness it, not resisting, witness it, and then step in and allow the light within you so that you can resolve what is for you. You cannot be speaking because you're a collective consciousness. We are working as a collective consciousness. We cannot stop everything that's happening everywhere, because then there's no balance in the world. This polarity is what's bringing the balance, right? So we have to be patient. This learning, the new learning, is all about being patient and completely stepping back and witnessing it and go with the flow. And when you are holding a strength, nothing is going to come next to you and push you down. It's not going to happen because you know your strength. And when you trust that journey, you are going to allow the flow. You're just going to be in the flow because you know the storm is not going to come this way or that way. Unless I allow it, the storm is going to come to me. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how we are supposed to. The more we are going to resist, the more our human experience is going to bring us into it. You see, so we are here on a learning journey. So we need to learn how to go through this human experience in harmony, understanding certain things have to exist for us to see the light on the other side. You see, without darkness, you can't see light. So that's the reason they both are existing at the same time. So we have to understand that.
Yeah. And I think next time we're going to be talking more about how to resist the temptation. Knowing when to stop questioning is just as important as knowing when to be in a questioning mood. And I think that's quite a challenge sometimes for a lot of people, particularly people that have opened their minds to where the world is now and are trying to seek where their place is in it. So in terms of that, how can sacred geometry be used as a tool, a dimensional tool for us earthlings?
Sacred geometry as a tool is an interesting question again. Okay. We do understand that sacred, the meaning it came from the word sacred is because it's coming from the divine. So the divine has created this tool for us, and the divine is the order of this tool. Okay. So when I'm saying that, what I'm trying to get is that the information that we are gathering, the information that that we have in the present moment, in the present time, it is believed that the veil is lifting and that this knowledge is becoming more accessible to individuals, more accessible to all of us, who can use it to tap into the energy and vibrations of the universe, promote personal and spiritual growth. Okay, it's here for a reason. And it's a very unique tool, because if I were to speak about the flower of life, I know that is a huge topic, but the flower of life has this every circle in the flower of life, when it's being represented, you can see within that circle, you also got the tetrahedron, you also got the hexahedron. You can see it's got all the sacred geometries within that flower of life. Yeah. So every circle represents the universe. Every circle represents the experience you're going through. And you cannot just make a jump without going through the full experience and understanding you've completed that experience. It is a very important tool for you to understand. That's the reason some people say that they get stuck, they cannot move forward. At times they do say that I've done everything, but I'm still not moving. I've done everything. So if you have done everything, you should be moving forward. If you're not moving forward, that means your human experience is not completed. There's still more learning in that space that you have ignored or you're not allowing.
I love that. Yeah.
So I mean, if I were to put that into my own life, sacred geometry is a powerful tool, actually, the only language that I didn't have to learn, as I mentioned before. And I have practiced incorporating sacred geometry on others in my sessions. And it has had a profound impact on their mental and physical well-being. All right, so just experiencing and witnessing their geometry, the changes, the shift that takes place immediately, how they are kind of pulled or they go back to that space. They are recognizing the patterns and shapes in their daily experience now. And I've been to gain a deep understanding of my place in this universe and the interconnectedness of all things. Yeah. So I find that this has helped me to find the harmony with nature, to find solutions to the challenges, even the challenges I face in my life.
I love it.
So I feel like incorporating sacred geometry as a tool into your meditation and visualization practices will definitely help you to overcome obstacles and find the solutions that you need for fulfilling life.
I can absolutely vouch for that, everyone, through personal experience. So one more question before we get into some exciting stuff as well. This is all exciting, but we've got some great tools that are going to really help people. So what I find really fascinating is, why is the modern world, us humans, where we are now? Why are we missing this communication at the moment?
Yeah, very, very interesting question, isn't it? There's a lot of reasons. First of all, I think materialism is part of our law of the universe. The materialism, especially in the modern society, there's a strong emphasis on material wealth and success, which can lead people to prioritize material pursuit over spiritual, philosophical ones. Like patterned and conditioned mind steps in as if we are all hypnotized. They like the pattern, they like going with this pattern and knowing what they're doing, and they got no time for all these things. The lack of time is another thing. The fast pace of modern life often leaves people with little time to reflect on deeper spiritual or philosophical questions. It's a robotic and automated space we are in. Okay, and disconnection from nature. Many people in modern society lead primarily urban lifestyle, which can lead to disconnection from nature and sense of separation from the natural world. And the other thing also is the skepticism and scientific materialism, the dominance of scientific materialism in modern society that has led a culture of skepticism towards ideas that cannot be explained or proven by science. So everything has to be proven by science. And then they say, okay, if it's not proven by science, even when it's proven by science, we kind of saying that, no, it's not right. But, but this is where I say the skepticism is always there. Difficulty in accessing information, where there is an abundance of information available today, and yet it can be so difficult to separate fact from fiction and to find credible sources of information on spiritual and philosophical topics. Yeah, I can keep going, globalization, cultural, lack of interest in understanding. So I find that
our systems as well, Nirmala, that you and I both work in, when people are physically out of balance through an overload of toxins and the lifestyle choices that a lot of people are forced to make, or becomes the norm, that makes it very difficult to tune into this part of ourselves, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. So that's why I'm saying everything is hypnotized. When I say the word hypnotize, you hypnotize from the physical body of consciousness to mental body of consciousness to spiritual body of consciousness. So all this toxication is kind of, it's kind of where it's supposed to work, your brain is not working, is because you're kind of blocked in that space. So you cannot think outside unless you take your time, you reserve your time, you make a time for yourself. However, despite these challenges, there are still many people that I'm aware who are seeking deeper meaning and connection in their lives, and who are looking for ways to communicate with the divine or universal energy. So I do know that there's a lot of people who are still stepping out. And the last 3 and 4 years, I find that a lot of awareness has stepped in, and they are looking for it. They're questioning things. Yeah, so that is also happening. So you are completely right in that space where you mentioned, toxication of everything. It's like we have to go through a whole lot of detox within ourselves, within our body, within our mental body, within our spiritual body. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, that will then be reflected in the planet. I absolutely love it. I really do. And I think, I've just realized I haven't plugged in my computer. Let me plug that in before we get cut off. I get so carried away with these things. So in terms of how people can find out more, so there's a couple of things I want to make everyone know, because it's all very well listening to this, but I think never we're in a time more where people need to step in and start doing the work themselves. As Joe Dispenza says, and most of my audience love Joe Dispenza, now we're in a time for actually doing, just not listening to the information. So let's start with the workshops that you've got. You've got one workshop coming up in February that is on your Quantum Art Medicine site, that will be all Nirmala's links and how you can access her work will be listed below, of course, as always. Sorry, my connection's not great on here. Tell us about that workshop that you've got, Nirmala, coming up, and what people can expect from that.
Okay, so I've already launched the workshop, and there are people already booked into this workshop, and it's called Communicate with Geometry, Synchronize Your Energy Centers. It's a guide to knowing your true self. So what I'm covering in that, and it's actually happening in the next 2 days. So Saturday for anyone in US and Sunday for those in Australia. The other question, Catherine, is also, people can just email me if they think that this timing is not working for them. If they email me, especially people in Europe, I know that they cannot. There's a couple of questions as came up already in my email saying that that timing is not suitable for them. They can email me and I can work around it if I have a group enough to start another workshop for them. Yeah. So this workshop is going to explore how geometry is connected to your life and the learning how the geometry is affecting and influencing your energy centers, and how it is part of your collective consciousness, how the silver cord, I know Danielle loves this, the silver cord and the universal cord, how they are in collaboration together, and how it's working from your microcosm to macrocosm. I'm also covering about how every single aspect, from Earth's resonance to the planets to everything, how they're connecting with the geometry. And coming through this workshop, the understanding is for you to explore how it's connected to your life and how you can use this as a purpose in your life, and how you can disconnect yourself and connect yourself to the right knowing. Yeah. So it's more of a light language, I do understand, but you are going to, by coming to the workshop, you're going to understand the deeper understanding of this geometry, the sacred geometry, and how you can make this part of your life. So how I'm going to show everything in regards to how the planets to the single tiny ends are kind of linked, interconnected in geometry. So every bits and pieces you need to learn about geometry will be in this workshop. Yes.
It's amazing. And as I said, the links to that will be below. And the reason we're sharing this is because it's so important that we step in and start doing some of this work ourselves. And having worked with you, Nirmala, for quite a while now, I can see the transformation in myself with this new level of understanding. And I just want to reiterate, obviously the first workshop is starting this weekend, and they're live sessions with Nirmala. They're just absolutely amazing. But don't let that put you off. If that's something that resonates with you and you think you're ready for, then please do contact Nirmala, telling her, what time zone you're in, because she will be putting on additional courses to fit different time zones for different groups of people. And if you've got a group of you that want to do it together, even better, because, we humans, we are community species. We need that connection. We need that community. And part of working in small groups on these things, it's beautiful, the gifts and the energy everyone shares together, so it can move you forward so quickly. Now, Nirmala, you and I are also going to be doing some exciting sort of live meditation and getting into alignment sessions together, aren't we? That aren't on your website yet, but we will be following up on those. Tell us a little bit about those and what people can expect from those.
Okay, it's going to be a live channel, and collaboration with Catherine is going to be absolutely fantastic. So we are going to bring in a question and answer live channel where you can come in and ask questions in regards to what's happening in your life, or anything to do with the sacred geometry, or anything in regards to what's working, what's not working. And, yeah, so we are going to take this opportunity to answer. So I'll be able to answer everything that's happening, because this is what I do. I tap into your geometry with your permission, and if you trust me, I'll be able to give you information on what is exactly and how things are meant to go, and what is stopping you from going forward. You can throw in any questions. I'm always, when it's one-to-one, is fantastic for me. So in this live channel, it's going to be more about you understanding the sacred geometry, as at the same time knowing about the quantum tools that's going to be available. What are the information you need? There's going to be a lot that we are planning to bring into this live channel. And at the same time, I'm going to bring in different meditation for different experiences that might be suitable for you, or might be kind of something that you're waiting for, So I'm kind of thinking that the energy will be suitable, and then at that point of time, I'll be able to run the right meditation for the audience. So is there anything else you want to add into that, Catherine?
No, watch this space. I will be announcing more with Nirmala on those. And the reason personally I'm so passionate about doing this is I'm having so many people contact me really ready to start working themselves. And trust me, when you start going through this stage, you can make huge shifts in your physical health, in what's happening in your life, in terms of how you're seeing the world, and therefore how the world's responding to you very quickly. And what I love is I love these small group sessions, because there's never an accident. It's like our lovely friend Danielle that introduced us. There's never an accident as to why these people are brought together at the right time. So there's always so much in that collective energy that can amplify the experience. So the one-on-one sessions are very great for people, and please do check them out. Again, all the links will be below. But also this collective energy can be so, so beautiful for people. And something I think that, all my audience they're an amazing bunch, Nirmala, as you've probably seen, and they're really ready. And when we've said it so much in so many with my different guests, that it's all about when we start doing the work ourselves, everything around us shifts. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. And that's the reason we want to bring this more on a community space, where everybody can come in and ask questions, and it's going to be a live channel, and it's going to be amazing. It's more like a workshop at the same time. We are going to kind of, we want to make it more on the cosmos geometry space we are trying to create, so that you're not left alone. You know that you got the support. Yeah. So and if everybody's agreeable to this, we would like to continue this as long as we can. Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So watch this space. We'll announce more about that probably next week. So all the links below. Now, Nirmala's now going to take us into a beautiful Flower of Life meditation. So if you're listening to this whilst you're driving or something like that, you might want to pause here and re-come to this when you can be in a quiet place where you can really get the benefit of this. And then what I'll do is, once we finish the meditation, we'll just close off the show with a little bit more information. So I am going to be sitting back and enjoying this, Nirmala.
Beautiful. All right. And I'm just going to share the Flower of Life for you to focus on the Flower of Life. Just give me a second. Okay. Catherine, you can see the Flower of Life?
I can see that. And would you recommend people keep their eyes open and focus on that during this meditation, or doesn't it matter?
Not necessary. I just want them to know what a Flower of Life will look like. Yeah, it's up to them. If they want to focus, you can also focus on the middle of the Flower of Life, right at the center on that dot. If not, you can take the vision and close your eyes. Yeah, both ways will work. Okay, all right. Now I'm just going to share the sound as well. Just give me a second. I'm going to stop this for a while, and then I'm going to start again, because sorry guys, I'm just going to
showing everyone my lovely dogs, who I said we're going to get this treat as well. So They're always in the background there with me. They're so adorable.
Okay, share screen. Okay. All right, great. We are here.
Lovely.
All right. I want everybody to be comfortable.
And we haven't got the music yet, Nirmala, is that right?
Yep. Yep. I just want everyone to find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. Sit in a comfortable position with your spine straight and have your hands resting on your knees, right? Now, we are going to introduce the flower of life, creative energy form into your life. This is opportunity for you to connect directly with the source and access the ancient knowledge contained in your cellular memory. All right. So I want you to come with a clear intention. Just sit quietly and go into this space and just follow my voice. Okay. You can now close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Focusing on the sensations of the air moving in and out of your body. Follow your breath into your body and out of your body. You are now moving into the center of your heart, right in between your chests. You can feel, see, and sense an energy that is present right in front of your heart, the center of your heart. Keep focusing on your breath, allowing this energy to become very clear in front of you. You can now sense your sense of awareness. Feel a presence of the sacred flower of life right in front of you, shimmering in complete divine light, right in front, center of your heart. You are entering a sacred space where all life is created and nurtured. Just like being in your mother's womb. This energy is now coming closer and even closer towards you, as if you are in the flower of life. You are surrounded by the energy of creation and the source of all life. You are completely bubbled in this energy, filling your body and spreading out to encompass your entire being. Hold the space. The mother of all geometry, the flower of life, is in communication with you now. You are connected to this energy. You are grounded You're feeling the energy of the earth, the universe, and the higher realms. Your heart is now completely encompassed by love. Allow yourself to feel the energy of love. Allow it to flow all around you as she has beautifully wrapped you up and holding you so tight. I want you to hold the space. Go deeper into however your senses, your feelings are bringing you. This energy is now spreading to all those around you, all your loved ones. Allow it. And the love is now going to Mother Earth. There is work happening within you energetically. Unnecessary baggages are being removed from you. It's time for you to let go. And focus on the energy of love that you're holding. He wants you to trust the process. He wants you to hand all your worries and troubles to the universe. Let go. Throw all baggages now. The divine light is in communication with you. As she wrapped you in a blanket of love and light, you express that this is just the beginning. It's a new beginning for you. Feel the connectedness of the energy cord between you and the energy, the mother of all geometry. Feel the energy of love and light. Hold the space. Hold it tight. Feel the shift in energy. Feel the geometrical rainbows of colors all around you. Feel the gift that you are. You are the gift. Allowing, opening all your dimensional tools that is required. It is allowing you to use with a very clear intention of who you are and why you are. Yeah. Hold the space. Allow it. The mother of all geometry is now slowly releasing the cord from this energy or beam of light that connects you to her. The pure understanding that you are a gift. You are part of the universal mission. You are important. You are very relevant in this space. Slowly releasing this connection as you are now slowly coming back. You feel you are being gently lifted up and moving away from the geometry. Slowly coming back to the center of your heart. Holding that space. Holding the energy of the experience that you've just been with. Take a moment to offer gratitude to this amazing energy and Mother Earth for supporting and grounding you during this meditation. as you are now slowly returning back. I want you to take a moment to return and become aware of your body and your surroundings. And only when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and take a few deep breaths, coming back to the present moment. As you finish this meditation, you are ready to begin a new journey now, filled with energy, balance, and peace. Love and light to everyone. Thank you.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing, Nirmala. I was well away in there, and so are my doggies. Look, thank you so, so much. I hope everyone enjoyed that as much as I did. That was really magical. And this is just a little bit of an indication about what more is in store if you want to connect more. Now, please let us know in the comments below any questions you've got, because Nirmala is going to be coming back on quite frequently. Nirmala, you've got your website and your YouTube channel. Please tell everyone the best way to connect with you to find out more.
Now you can always connect through the Quantum Art Medicine. That's my website. You'll be able to book in for sessions or the workshops, or, and I'm also planning to do individual transformation sessions that I used to do in the past, and I'm going to bring that back again because there are a lot of people are requesting it. And also the YouTube channel that I have is Sacred Science with Nirmala. I've just started it. I would love to have your support with that as well. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Please, please, please let us know in the comments below what you'd like more of. This is a tool that is going to help us all, really help move us forward individually and as collective. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back. Thanks, Nirmala. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you feel inspired, please do share with your friends and family. My goal is to inspire as many people as I can to live their best lives, to stay curious, and to raise their consciousness and that of the collective. So to do this, I need to reach as many people as possible, and this needs your help. If you feel drawn, would you be willing to share your favourite episode with 5 different people? This helps us spread the word and also helps me encourage some exciting new guests to take part in this podcast. If you feel drawn to do that, I will be very, very grateful. All the links and discount codes where applicable for all the products that I support are on my 2 websites, catherineedwards.life and catherineedwardsacademy.com. All of the products are personally tried and tested by me, my family, and my clients. And finally, please do press the follow or subscribe button, depending which platform you're listening on. And above all, stay curious and stay free.